Welcome to God Winging It with me, Roger Michael Klang. God winging it, not me winging it. I mainly use SR Ekut as a source. Let's delve into it. The Trump disease was calling the Strait of Hormuz the Strait of Trump the other day when he expressed disappointment about Europe, I guess, not supporting his and Israel's war on Iran, but quickly corrected himself to the Strait of Hormuz. Oops, ominous. There you go. He and the American administration are planning way ahead. He puts his name on everything he thinks is gold. It's all about first the oil price and then hogging all the oil. But Iran ain't playing nice. Trump also says in an interview with the Financial Times that what he would like to do is, above all, take Iran's oil. Quote, honestly, what I would prefer is to take the oil in Iran. End quote, for the Financial Times. He compares the conceivable scenario to the situation in Venezuela, where the US has taken control of the oil industry. The war isn't about an Iranian nuclear program. There have been several explosions in Iran on the night of the 28th of March, including one that hit the nuclear power plant in Bushehr. Israel has taken responsibility for an unknown number of attacks that night. That was just Israel's way of saying, you fuckers, if you continue to fight back, next time it will be the core reactor that we hit. They hit the power plant 3 times the last couple of days. But it's just that it isn't from the US. And only the US can use attacks on the nuclear power plant as strategic deterrence. That is why Israel was vague about the specific attack on Bushehr's power plant. They attacked several other places that night, but also because of the public opinion. Israel knows they have lost the battle for public opinion in Europe, but in Israel and the US, they play a strong hand. And Reza Pahlavi spoke at the very fascist movement CPAC in Texas. He presented himself as the new leader of Iran. How very odd, isn't it? Donald Trump is unpredictable. Is so unpredictable that there are betting markets building around him. Literally. What a loser. The genetic lottery wasn't on his side, nor was life. The US is preparing a ground operation in Iran, the Washington Post reports. The Wall Street Journal reports that around 10,000 additional troops are being sent to the region. Tehran, for its part, warns that it is, quote, waiting for the American soldiers. I bet on that the US will lose this battle and the war. US President Donald Trump claims that a deal with Iran is close, while at the same time issuing new threats of bombing. He says that if Iran doesn't comply, he will obliterate the Iranian oil facilities. Shithead. He's bluffing with a pair of deuces. But if it becomes existential for the US, he will do it. Trump also claims that regime change has now taken place in Iran, a claim that many observers question. Just because Donald's team are speaking with different people, it doesn't mean that these people are not regime loyal. Iran is going to implement tariffs for trafficking the Strait of Hormuz. The tariffs will be based on cooperation with Oman, whose territory covers the southern shore of the Strait of Hormuz, Iranian state media reports. According to the plan, American and Israeli ships will be banned from passing through the strait. Estimates suggest that traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has decreased by around 95% since the war began. On Tuesday night, the 31st, the Wall Street Journal reported that US President Donald Trump said he could consider ending the war against Iran without traffic in the Strait of Hormuz being resumed. That is what a loser says. Pakistan will probably arbitrate. And as another sign of the decline of the US influence in what Donald would call shit countries, the EU and Ghana have signed a historic defense agreement to counter the growing threat from extremist groups in West Africa. The agreement, the first of its kind between the EU and an African country, will strengthen cooperation on border security, cybersecurity, and intelligence. The European Union contributes with €50 million to strengthen Ghana's defense capabilities. The money will go towards military equipment such as surveillance drones, anti-drone systems, and bomb disposal vehicles. And Italy's foreign minister has stopped US aircraft from landing at the NATO base in Sigonella in Sicily without permission. The announcement came after the Italian military detected what were believed to be US bombers approaching the base, in violation of bilateral agreements. The US is not to use the base for military operations without the Italian parliament first approving of it. The Italian defense minister Crosetto reminded the US about this already on the 5th of March, but the US tried to sneak the bombers in. Europe is stepping up. Under normal circumstances, phosphates from Morocco are shipped to countries in the Persian Gulf with ample access to gas for making artificial fertilizers, much needed by farmers all around the world, even in Sweden. It doubles the crop production, but the war on Iran is putting pressure on agriculture. The UN is now warning that hunger could worsen in Sudan, Somalia, and Kenya, among other places. Jose Antonio Custodio, a Philippine defense analyst, says that President Donald Trump's actions towards NATO and Ukraine implies that allies in Asia cannot count on American support. And he adds, how can you rely on a power that is at war with itself? This is what I've been saying all along. A Russian oil tanker with 730,000 barrels of oil has arrived in Cuba, Reuters reports, citing the Russian Ministry of Transport. This unfortunately strengthens Russia, but the Cubans may survive. But what happened with the two Mexican merchant ships with destination Cuba that mysteriously disappeared? Tapping my nose. China's Communist Party is aiming for global dominance in the development of AI robots under its new 5-year plan. China is investing heavily in development, production, and training, and is already a leader in industrial and humanoid robotics. Embodied AI is being highlighted as a strategic shift that could make robots the next Chinese export success after electric cars. In your face, Elon. Not that I like China, but I detest Elon Musk more. This announcement comes pretty shortly after Elon Musk announced that he was going to shift focus from his rather unsuccessful electric car manufacturing to manufacturing AI humanoid robots. And lastly, Iceland has decided on a defense strategy for the first time. Iceland, which itself lacks a military defense, has over the years prepared for volcanic eruptions and other natural disasters. But now it is also preparing for the threat from, surprise, surprise, Russia. Have they learned nothing from Trump threatening to annex Greenland? That's my 2 cents. Roger and out.